was a stretch. Oh my gosh, guys. You'd think I've been sitting in a chair all day working. Oh, goodness. We are gonna be cracking this bad boy open in a short few minutes. Last minute preparations are in effect right now. Welcome to all of the early gigs. Seth Harpinger? Dude, you've been here for like 30 minutes, bro. That's some commitment right there. I'm not even mad, I'm impressed. Excelsior, I have to just say, I really appreciate your questions before the stream officially starts. It's so cheeky. I'll give the definitive response here in a little bit. I still gotta prep some more things. Oh my goodness, the time is now. The time is now. We're live. Everything's going. It's perfect. It's the transition. Hang on a second. I don't know why that transition sometimes doesn't like to work, but look at that. Flawless into the game. EVERSPACE 2. I am your host, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. And you guys, oh my gosh, look at you. All of you getting in here early and hanging out and just like, wow. I love it. You guys are rock solid. We got a couple things on the docket today. I'm gonna be showing you a tier 2 interceptor wing style. We're gonna be comparing it to the wing style of the first one and a very like dedicated screenshot element. I don't necessarily know we've done that particular thing before, but we have shown the wings. So for those of you who have missed it, you're gonna get to see that level of detail that we're really pushing for these very specific details of how you're gonna customize your ship once we are ready to unveil all of that. Oh my goodness. So beyond that, we're gonna be picking up where we left off in the storyline, which was, what did we do? We finished the smuggling run. That's what we did. We finished the smuggling run. We took Alec back to the home base and we're like, hey dog, chill. And then now we have to go back to Cato, Mr. Cato, back at the palace. So we'll be doing that and answering questions and stuff. It's gonna be a nice, delightful little stream. I also do have a very intentionally titled stream today because I do want to talk very briefly about the hotfix as well, especially those of you who have been affected by it. Rest assured, the game is still working. The game still operates. It's just that there's a little hiccup because of how we have done the pack files for the game. So here's the long and the short of it. If you uninstall the entire game and then reinstall, that should absolutely work. That'll basically bypass the update issues that's going on. And in the time being, we recognize kind of how this situation has occurred, and moving forward, we're gonna do very similarly what we did with EVERSPACE 1, which is break apart into separate pack files. So that way, whenever Steam is looking to update anything, instead of it having a 65 gigabit chunk of data that it has to move aside for allocation purposes to get another 65 gigabit data chunk, now you'll just have like, you know, a couple gigs that need to be modified in place of that. So translated, that means if you are having problems, completely uninstall the game and then reinstall. It'll include the patch. If you are not having problems, that means you have some pretty strong software that's awesome. And moving forward, you will not have the issue because we're going to fix it. Cool. Excellent. All right. Aside from that, we need to get into our game and start blowing stuff up and cool stuff. Oh my gosh. So first, let's do the visual stuff for the wings. We are going to be flying around with these tier 2 wings, just because I think they're nice. I think they're great. It's one of my favorite looks on the Interceptor. So first we could probably go to a better location so we can get some sun on these wings. So let's get some sun on these wings and then we'll talk about it.
If you have time to look for my things, the cargo drone's number should be OP 7633.
Thanks, Delia. I appreciate that.
There is a box in there filled with research material and other stuff. It has my name on it.
It's
all right, thanks, Delia.
Wendo, right? That's an interesting name, by the way.
Wendo? Yeah.
Much better.
I think it's Japanese originally, possibly Kenyan, definitely of Seoul origin. Just let me know once you find anything, okay?
I will. Talk to you soon.
I don't know why I feel rude to interrupt text-to-speech voices. Is that weird? So, all right, so let's look at these wings really quick. So this is an Interceptor, much like you guys have seen. I'm gonna go back. The wings, these are the wings that you've probably seen, wings that you've probably chosen in-game. We are still using our Bloodstar coloration that we had from last stream. We can change this however we want. But I just wanted to show you, like, just visually, and actually maybe we should even just go right into photo mode here. Like, you can see the level of detail of how these wings are going to be modified as we continue to build them out for all of the various ships. And I just wanted to talk about this for all of those who aren't sure about what a modular ship approach means. Like, how does that work? Like, is it like Lego blocks that we're putting together? And the answer is kind of. So what we have different, 4 different parts that make the whole of the player ship. Those 4 parts are the wings, the body, the engines, and the cockpit, okay? Now, you haven't seen hardly any of the cockpit customization at all because it's simply been put on the back burner. Rest assured that is coming. But what we have here is, like, you can have different bodies, right? All of these attached to the different wings, right? All of these attached to the different wings. And then you have the different wings themselves, right? Then you also have the different engines, okay? So each one of these pieces make up this whole, and like we can, if we wanted to, you know, go crazy, you can start seeing like a lot of different variations just by combining these pieces, right? Just for one ship class. And that's ultimately our goal, is we want to have a lot of aesthetic customization in the game that, you know, really feels good, that really comes together, and you can really make your own ship. Now, beyond that, then we also have the wings that have this tiered system that whenever you get a better ship of that same variant, boom, right? It starts building out different wings for you, okay? So this is a more standard wing type, I think, where you start getting it starts to extend out a little bit further, right? The main wings I want to show are these. This was requested from the Discord. So we're gonna look at these in a lot of detail. So if we look at the underneath, right? We see the front, and then boom, we have just a couple little details on the front take place. Like, we have this extension right here. See that? And a couple of those details kind of get stripped away and modified and replaced. Okay? As well as the wings on the side getting these little pointy bits. Notice I chose this engine type to kind of like match it. I figured that would be nice. So now we have these pointy bits that kind of match our engine aesthetic, right? And you can really start seeing how the wing just adjusts itself from a tier 1 to a tier 2. Now still, we aren't done with all the detail work for these wings. So what I'm showing you is very much work in progress, okay? What you can also note is like the, what are they called? The lateral thrusters, right? The ports here. You can see those very clearly on these wings, but they're not present here, which means if I understand it correctly, yeah, when I'm moving like this, I don't get to see my lateral thrusters in this wing set because it's not done, right? It's still very much work in progress. So please keep that in mind as I'm showing you this set of wings as we fly around in it. But you can see a lot of those details. There's a lot of little things that get adjusted and modified that really start shaping the appearance of the ship just on the tier of the ship alone. Now let's look at the underside too, because I know a lot of you want to see that as well. You know, just a nice light little adjustment. And each tier of these wings provides a unique, I should probably put this on the left side of the screen so my face doesn't block it, but each set of wings provides a new sort of aesthetic, right? So I actually went too far, I showed you tier 3. Ooh, oh, you just got a close-up of tier 3, guys. Oh my gosh. But again, all this stuff is work in progress, and we are building all of these elements out to provide a unique style that shows you your ship itself is making progress as you're building it out through the game. Can I speak French? No. But thanks for that request. So we'll be flying around with these wings, just so you can have the little pointy bits. This was requested in the Discord. I just asked, and then Hazy was like, hey, tier 2 wings. Okay, why not? There you go, guys. And again, this is going to apply for every single wing. Like all of these different wings are going to have multiple tiers, right? Every single wing option in the game. And this is just one ship class, right? Every single ship class will have tiered wings. Are you starting to see how the numbers are like really adding up in your level of customization? Like it starts getting crazy. But then we also haven't shown you like super detail of the cockpit, right? Still haven't gotten there yet. And then there's more. There's more. There's a lot that we're doing just from a level of detail for your customization. And I just want to give a nice little shout out to Matthias, who is our 3D modeler for the playable ships. I think he's been doing a dandy job on them, if I do say so myself. A round of applause, yes, yes, very good. Excellent, fantastic. Matthias, very, very good stuff. And we do have several 3D modelers on the team. Marco, Alex, I'm missing somebody. Tilo, that's it. And they do everything from like the level design to enemies to, you know, all sorts of stuff to really bring this game to fruition. And the level of polish and detail that these guys know, I mean, they're working hard to make sure that your ship feels like it's yours. We want it to be very distinct. We want you to have this style and nobody else. And that's the progress we've been making on it. So yeah, there you go. So now that that's out of the way, let's go do some missions. Let's go do some missions. And I am feeling really good about these wings. I quite like these wings. Not sure how you guys feel about the color. I do like the Bloodstar colors. I just threw this together. It's not actually the official Bloodstar ship, but I think it looks quite nice. And we can always do a little bit more with that. I was partially inspired by Hazy whenever he requested tier 2, and I was like, well, what if I did like a green ship variation? So I'll show you that one as well. Why not? Can't wait till this game is done. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. So the beautiful thing about that, Aiden, is that, yeah, it sucks that it's still gonna take a long time, but at the same time, if you're digging what we're doing right now, like, it's like there's only going to be more, and it's only gonna get better from here. So that's the exciting bit. That's the exciting news. But man, patience can be a hard pill to swallow. Is that, no, that's not right. But you know what I'm saying.
Look who it is. You are dealing with me from now on.
Hi Daryl. So now I get to know where Maddox is, for real, right?
Yeah, he leases the biggest hangar on Avonrist, a settlement here in Union. But so far as what kind of reception you're going to get when you arrive there, we hold no responsibility.
It's fair, Daryl.
Maddox has good reason to be a deeply paranoid individual.
Who else has been looking for him?
Hard to say. It's just murmurs on the wavelengths.
Okay, see you around.
Oh yeah, light sources. I'm seeing discussion about light sources. Let me tell you what. Oh my gosh, Marco has been going ham on light sources. We've just gotten leaps and bounds with what we've been able to accomplish. And he's been pulling all the tricks out to bring that to life. Very impressive stuff. I'm quite pleased with how it's all been coming together. We also don't want to get too frisky with light sources as well. This is actually a very technical element of game dev where if we start modifying too much more, it's going to start breaking a lot of things we've already established. So it's a very delicate process, but again, what Marco's done with our light sources, I mean, whew, I dig it. I hope you guys too do too. So maybe we'll make it even better. I don't know. There's always room for improvement, right? So Hazzy, this was my ship inspired by you, an Okar Fleet Green. And instead of going like the light, I went with like a really black line to complement it all. So there you go, customized specifically for Hazzy since he requested in the Discord. I could have customized one for you if you would have answered my question first over there. Did you know that you can join the Discord for conversations galore? Well, shoot, let me bring up this link really quick because I like to have conversations with you guys. Seriously, discord.gg, discord. What's the link? I don't even know. It's on the screen somewhere, dang it. But we love being engaged with you guys, talking about the stuff that you're enjoying. We love sharing your screenshots. And this is how this entire process of me showing the tier 2 ship at all is being shown, as well as me now having a green ship. It's because Hazzy was just like, hey, can you do this? And I was like, okay. Like, that's literally what it, you can ask Michael in the chat right now. He was like, I didn't know you were gonna be showing tier 2 wings. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. So yeah, that's how it rolls sometimes. So we're gonna go with this ship, apply it, and I think because we're not supposed to have tier 2 wings, it actually reverted our wings back to tier 1. So we're just gonna boop back into tier 2. And now let's take on our mission. Here we go. Nice green ship. Yeah, we're definitely cheating right now. For anyone who's wondering, like, how do I get tier 2 ships? You can't.
Can you tell me about Avonrist?
Unfortunately, there is
not ready
my
yet.
Latest iteration on Avonrist. If you had allowed me to update, I would perhaps be able to tell you more. But I can at least ascertain that it is an unofficial category of location, given there is no record.
Well, we don't want you to update Hive because if you were to update and connect to the Eterna network, then we're gonna get got super fast, just like what happened in the events of EVERSPACE 1. Isn't that right, everybody who's been paying attention to the storyline? So yep, we're gonna stay off the grid. We are our own free agent, and we do things the way that we want to do. All right. Avonrist.
Before entering.
I'm just here to check out the leasing on some hangar space.
Do you have an appointment?
Not really, I was just hoping to knock around.
Well, the Coalition operates a clean enterprise, so we don't want any trouble, okay?
The Coalition running the place. And no trouble? That's a change for them. I'll have to ask Alec what happened between him and this lot.
Excellent.
I detect heightened outlaw activity circling these coordinates.
All right, Hive, I'm going to stop you there. I want to point out that for anyone who also has the DLC from EVERSPACE 1, knows that Alec used to serve in the Coalition. So now we have a direct tie-in for the events of EVERSPACE 1 that's all bringing together so well, so delightful. Oh my goodness. Are there any secret Easter eggs in the first EVERSPACE that haven't been found yet? I think all of the Easter eggs have been found. I'm particular to one because it's incredibly self-indulging, which is my logo inside of the scout ship. But otherwise, yeah.
It is likely that you will become involved in a raid should you choose to dock here.
All right, cool. So Hive is referring to the location over there, but we're not going over there. We're running the wheel. So we're gonna look for Maddox at his hideout. We're heading to this remote hangar. We're also gonna get a little bit closer to the ship because we wanna see those details. That's why you're in the streams, right? Here we go.
Adam enters the hangar to find Maddox, who questions him over the Tannoy system. Adam explains what happened to Dax, but the silhouette of Maddox doesn't move. Maddox creeps up and takes Adam off guard while he is looking at the decoy. Adam pleads for Maddox to be reasonable, and shows him the biochip taken from Dax's body. When Maddox tries to grab the biochip, Adam turns and disarms him. Now with the advantage, Adam starts to question Maddox. It quickly becomes clear to Maddox that Adam knows little to nothing about he and Dax's big plans. Adam disengages the pistol and asks that the two meet halfway, and Maddox invites him to the control room for a drink. Maddox admits he is short on friends now Dax is gone, and he is in a tight spot with the Okar outside. He offers Adam to take Dax's place in the big operation they had planned if Adam can somehow get his freighter off Evanrist without the Okar noticing. Adam reckons it is risky as the freighter contains iridium mining technology, which could anger the Okar, but cautiously agrees as Maddox promises life-changing wealth.
So, you've spent years putting this freighter together.
Yup, while Dax was back at base twiddling his thumbs. But it was all part of the plan to keep the team separated until the time was right.
Who else is in your team?
You don't need to worry about that right now. Unless you get me off this station, the plot ends here.
I hate to say it, but that won't be easy. You're flying a iridium mining rig. The Okra can smell a setup like this from light seconds away.
You seem to know a lot about these things. Any ideas how to fix it?
Well, the only way to fool the lizards would be to decrypt all sensory information coming from your ship. Optics, chemistry, it even needs to taste like sheep steel when you lick it. You'd need something like a material encrypter.
That's right.
You know that sorta tech doesn't really exist. At least not out here.
And that's wrong. There's at least one person who designs such things. But both Kato and I have always been careful not to do business with him.
I think I know where this is going.
Hey, you're good at pestering people. You even got me to come around. This guy has a station near the ice planet Volta. Follow these coordinates and you'll find it.
You know, I'm putting faith in you over this, Maddox.
Like I said, it'll be worth it.
Very good. So we're seeing a lot of placeholder conversation through the events of this storyboarding, right? The cutscene, you're effectively seeing a storyboard right now because the cutscene itself is still in development. We're still ironing out the exchange that is being had between Maddox and Adam. So any of the cutscenes that you've seen up to this point, well, not all of them, but most of them to this point, they're still very heavily a work in progress. And the ones that you have seen that even have official voice lines in them, they're still getting tweaked and modified through the entirety of our development cycle, okay, guys? So if any of you just saw that cutscene, you're like, wow, that was really boring. Man, didn't have any emotion in it. Yeah, it doesn't actually have any emotion in it yet. Like literally just storyboarding. So that is work in progress material and how we're bringing it all together. Cool. So now we got Maddox on board and we have to go find a material encrypter something thing. I think that's what it is. That's our next destination. So yeah, all of the text-to-speech that you are hearing during the course of this stream, again, it is placeholder. That is not finalized. If you absolutely cannot stand it at all and you do have the game in early access right now, you just note that you can go to voice and absolutely just kill it. You can just absolutely kill the voice. You're like, no, I don't want it. Please no. You can just wipe that out. Perfect. Excellent. All right, let's see. I wanted to look at my inventory really quick Because I can't even remember what I have. We have a flak, a thermo gun, and a coil gun. Okay, that seems nice. That seems fair. We don't have any Aeterna bypasses yet. Our ship is actually kind of garbage. Our ship is actually bad. We're level 8. We don't have any really powerful means to boost up our attributes, which can be found through weaponry, like our sensors with 20 firepower, our heavy plating with 15 precision, etc., etc. You will notice, probably, that the values that my equipment has in comparison to the stuff that you found are pretty different. This is because attribute systems for the ship are also still very heavily work in progress, and we want to make sure that items have meaningful values associated with them, and the attributes are meaningful decisions that you can take your ship as you develop it over the course of time. So I am playing a development build. There are some tweaks and additions to this game space, and I'm pretty confident that we've started ironing out some of those values and what you see on these items. So instead of seeing something that's like plus 200 precision, you might have found one yourself, I don't know. Now you're gonna see much lower values so that you have to be more particular to really raise those individual values while also getting those augments to give that additional boost. Okay, whew. Lots of details, always. All right, so let's go ahead and I think we're ready to go flying out of here again. On to the next mission. Beautiful.
Alec, you read me? I've been on EVERSPACE.
No freaking way, really?
I was more surprised to run into the Coalition. They seem to be running the place now. Weren't they your gang once? Back when they, still were a gang.
Yeah, they changed, went mercantile. I had a meaningful sit-down with the Coalition boss, at least that's what she called it, and we mutually agreed that my skills would be better applied elsewhere.
So, you parted on good terms?
Well, she smiled when they waved me off, and they told me never to come back. So I'd say, yeah. Part of my kin still live on that station, along with some very good people. A lot of them broke, stranded, and can't get home. Hey, why not tell them I said hi?
I'll do that. Just need to get through another gig first.
Always busy, but man, I respect that.
Perfect.
May I inquire why we just jumped into empty space?
Because there's a space station over there?
My sensors detect nothing.
Good day there, Adam Roslin. It's been a while since I had a clone come for a visit.
Okay. I don't like where this is going.
Where what is going?
All right.
Okay, Hive. I need you to focus. Run your sensors again. What is this place?
Mostly it's just smoke and mirrors. All it takes is a wave of my hand.
Crackle, my sensors are overclocking.
And it's gone.
Cut the act. Don't mess with my ship. And how the hell do you know about me?
I am sorry, but as secrets go into DMZ, yours is not a very big one.
Snap.
Just take the Colonial Fleet. They can't post warrants for you since no one is supposed to know that you exist, but they still talk about you a lot.
That doesn't answer my question.
You could say that I simply like to listen to the waves passing through the ether while I tinker away on my devices.
You can't just turn on the radio and tune into decrypted fleet talk. You're some kind of hacker. Who else knows about me?
That depends on why you've come to see me all the way out here.
I am looking for a material encryptor.
For whom?
Can't say.
Tit for tat. Nicely done. I can offer you a version for 20 credits, the other for 2 million. Both do exactly the same.
Then what's the difference?
The cheap one is sponsored by an impersonal business partner to reimburse me for its rare materials. The other is exactly what it would cost without them.
I am surely not buying the one for 2 mil.
Of course. I'll just remove it from my loadout then.
Excellent. So this is the first time Michael's seen the new VFX. Oh, nice. Very good. Yeah, so we've been having a lot of fun with how things look, how things come across in the game. So we figured that a hidden space station should have something, you know, pleasing to the eye, you know, pretty good stuff. I think it's been coming together well, as well. So we're getting a lot of dialogue. For anybody who's not following along the storyline, a lot of the conversation about colonials and a clone and not having a warrant on our head because I'm not supposed to be here, it's gonna be like really confusing, okay? So there's a lot of context behind this that I don't think I have the time to explain because I really want to keep focusing on the mission and everything moving forward. So if you want to know more, definitely check out EVERSPACE 1 storylines, and I think Grindel can maybe hook you up with the timeline, I don't know. But basically, we need to get a material encryptor, and we don't want to spend 2 million credits, so obviously we were going to buy the one for 20.
This is the
like,
hardware.
of course.
The drivers are transferred directly to your ship.
Thanks for doing business.
My pleasure. Take care, Adam.
Excellent. The deed is done. We got it. We can also look in our data tab for our specialty items. We have the material encryptor right there, just hanging out with us. Perfection. All right, well, that's all we really needed, right? That's all, we're all good. So let's get out of here. We just need to take it back to Maddox. Easy peasy, no problem.
Are you tired of being picked on? Then why not treat yourself to a Salver Pulse 9000? Salver Armament Group. Because even a lizard deserves a good laser.
What was that?
The signal is coming from my own systems.
Serves me right for buying cheap scrap from a hacker.
I am running diagnostics. Please try jumping again.
Ouch, my teeth.
Sorry kid, but you've got cavities.
Again?
But don't worry, try Footnax. Footnax hand lotion. Your teeth deserve it. The messages are triggered by the new software.
Can you disable them?
Not without deleting the entire package and rendering the encryptor useless.
I need to have another word with that guy.
Oh my goodness. Anorax. I don't actually know if we're referencing another game. I think this was an original concept that our team put together, but we're pretty happy with the results. I think it's just coincidence that it's also in another game, a similar way. But
I refuse to leave with malware in my circuitry.
All right, we got to get this malware away, right?
Hey, you didn't tell me that the encryptor came with ads.
As I said, its main component is very rare. It is the only way I am able to sell it for such a low price. If you cannot pay, you either have to live with the ads or find a replacement for the material.
What kind of material are we talking about?
A very old one. If you feel adventurous, you can go to these coordinates. You will immediately know what I want when you see it. In the meantime, I'll remove the cheap module from your ship.
Guess I have no other choice.
Howsy says, I cannot wait to hear the actual voices. Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely have some fun with that, that's for sure. I want to take a moment to answer a question from Slorin Tetson. So we get you taken care of. He asks, will all weapons, etc. be craftable eventually, including Bloodstar and Prototype and such? So we do have a few more tricks up our sleeves for the crafting system to make it better, to make it a little bit more fleshed out. So I can't directly answer your question, but we do want to make sure that if you have a particular build in mind, you can get there a pretty good chunk of the way through the crafting system alone, right? But we'll have more information regarding manufacturer items, faction items, and even legendaries pertaining to the crafting system in the future, okay? But a great question. All right, so now let's go ahead and launch out of here and explain that we need another way to take care of this. Or actually, no, we're not explaining. We're gonna go do a job for him. And this is a job in a location we have been to before. We've talked about this location before, and we know that there's more going on than what it seems. So if this is the first time you guys have ever seen this location being shown, this is the first time you're ever being introduced to this particular mystery surrounding the game, this should be a nice little treat for you all. Those wingtips are nice. I like the wingtips. I am a fan. I also like what it does to the front of the wings as well. Like it creates that metallic kind of like motion where it's got that zigzaggy thing. I don't know what to call it. The shapes. I like shapes, okay? I took geometry in school and I was like, this class is awesome. And then I had to do math and it started to suck. But still, I love shapes. And I really like the way that the tier 2 wings look on the top side and how it comes together. Really nice flow to the stuff and things. Yes! Professional terminology at its finest. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This must be the place. Where do the hackers' coordinates lead?
To a cave entrance below.
Another cave. Hopefully without crawlers this time.
Alright, let's take on some enemies with our loadout. Haven't really done too much with it yet. I don't have to fire too well with this flat cannon because, I mean, it's a flat cannon. It's pretty accurate regardless. Our shields kind of stink, so we're going to need to fix that. That'll be a focus we have during the course of the stream. One more. All right, let's... This is a proto scout, so our thermo gun's going to be pretty effective against him. Since he's mostly shields. Once his shields are gone, we'll flat cannon this up. There we go. Beautiful. And now we must enter the darkness. Let's go ahead and do our cockpit view. Oh, that green looks really nice in here. Oh my gosh. I don't actually think I've looked in the cockpit in a green colored ship. I feel weird, but I really enjoy this. That looks pleasant. I'm digging that look. All right, here we go. Oh yes, first we have to destroy the rock in the way.
The entrance is blocked. You will require a detonator to get through.
Didn't I see a G and B dig site when we flew in? Bet I can borrow one from them.
I assume steal one would be the more appropriate wording.
Alright, so we're just gonna fly around.
Mining operation. Hi, do you see that?
If by that you are referring to the ancient structure up ahead, I would be able to offer some information. The ancients were believed to be higher beings, distantly related to and revered by the Okkar. They ruled over a powerful and far-reaching empire, yet they mysteriously vanished from historical record some millennia ago.
You don't have to tell me. I painfully remember our previous encounters with them. G and B should know better than to risk a run-in with an ancient warden.
So you can see there's a lot of excavations going on here. We're not gonna poke about with this part too much because I know a lot of you have seen this already. For those who are curious, we have encountered the ancients themselves through the events of EVERSPACE 1, so we know they are not to be trifled with. Okay, let's grab one of these. Oh, maybe not that one. Let's try this other one. Grab it. Okay, thank you very much. And we'll take this one back over. To give ourselves, those are large explosive charges. Oh my gosh. That thing's like as big as the ship. No wonder it gets that boulder out of the way. Intense. Thermogun's gotta be one of your favorites. Yeah, Thermogun's been around for a while. It existed even before EVERSPACE 1 from our team. Carried over from a previous project, and we're quite happy with it, that's for sure. All right, now we've got this in place. We can set the charges themselves.
This should do it. Are you in the mood for some more spelunking? Hive?
I do not have moods, but modes. Activating indoor navigation mode.
Oh, don't pretend you can't be moody, my friend. You may even be the moodiest AI Hive.
Activating pilot ignoring mode.
Oh my gosh, Hive, I love you so much. All right. So we do have our lights on our ship, and now we are casually exploring this tunnel where there are apparently ancients.
Go deeper and
Maybe.
deeper into a long-lost alien cave.
Glowy bits. You guys know when you see glowy bits in sci-fi stuff, there's something going on. So quick pause. I just want to make sure that I'm answering all the questions and everything. Looks like a lot of people are just like very into what we're doing, giving a lot of compliments. Thank you for that. I do want to just remind you guys that these live streams, one of the biggest functions, the biggest pleasures that I have for the team is being as transparent as possible regarding our development with you guys. So you know that when you support us, you know exactly how we plan on focusing in our efforts to make this experience the best it can possibly be. So just keep that in mind. I want to answer questions. You got them. I'm going to give you what I can. All right. So I do see a question that came out of Twitch a little bit higher up. The question is, since the parts are getting more fancy the higher the tiers, will there be some animated parts of the ship on higher tiers, like wings shrinking in when going to warp or other stuff? Yeah, we actually had that question before. Another person asked like if the wings would like flap whenever you move left and right, stuff of that nature. And the long and the short of that is we have a lot of concepts for what we want to do with the player ships, and we have a lot of customization coming in a lot of different directions. I'm giving you a non-answer now for a very specific reason, right? But what I can assure you of is that when we have the ships finalized and ripe and raring to go, you're going to have a lot of really playful and fun options to make it really shine and do what you want it to do. Now, we also don't want to get so freaking crazy with the player ship we forget that we have content to make for the actual game. So do curb your expectations. If we go in the route of some really absurd or even small animation details for playable ships, that's going to happen way down the line, okay? That's not something that is a priority whatsoever. It's going to be something that we would really have to think on if we've got the time to plug in, all right? So, yes. Or maybe no. But a great question. There's a lot that we've still got to get working. But we are excited to try and do some really cool stuff whenever we get it all put together. Oh, excellent. I got clipped when I said I like shapes, okay? Good. I need to make sure that I send that to my mom and say thank you for the education. Beautiful. All right, let's see. Will the plasma thrower make a comeback at some point? All right, Excelsior. All right, boy. Hang on a second. I'm pulling up Discord right now because I have an official statement that I made on plasma thrower and other things. I need to find it. Hang on. And I think you've seen this before too. I think you're re-asking a question. Let me see. Let me see if I can find my exact response. I'm curious. Man, a lot of people have asked about the plasma thrower, by the way. I will point that out. Hang on. 1 second. I know there's no music. I know, patience with me. I want to find this very specific response. And of course I can't find it. All right, if this takes me too long, I'm just going to give you a new response. All right, I'm just going to give you a new response. I thought I knew where it was at. I can't find it. Okay, so no worries. Basically, we want to call back a lot of material from EVERSPACE 1. We want to honor the legacy that is. And we also want to make sure that the world building we have in place makes sense, right? Like a really strong example of this would be the ARC 9000, right? The ARC 9000 is a beloved secondary item from EVERSPACE 1. You shoot it, it destroys freaking everything. It looks awesome, it feels good, and in a roguelike format, when you find it, that can be a get out of jail free card when you're trying to jump from one place to another. In the context of EVERSPACE 2, we do have to change a little bit of the materials that enter into the game space because the foundation has changed. We went from roguelike to an open world RPG. It's not exactly flipping a switch, right? And because of that, those elements that we bring back in certain degrees or capacities have to have an appropriate use. So what we see with the bomber, for example, and using the ARC 9000 as its ultimate, we know that it's using reconstituted technologies of the Salvo armament group that has stopped creating the ARC 9000. Wait, was it Salvo? Was it Salvo or was it... Shoot, one of the manufacturers. Who made the ARC 9000? Quick question. I forgot who made the ARC 9000. Guys, it starts with an S. Anyway, that's not important. The important thing is that the ARC 9000 is no longer in construction. And it hasn't been since the war. Even in the events of EVERSPACE 1, you're finding ARC 9000s that should not be present. You're picking up the scraps from a militarized battle, a war that's brewed. So those aren't being created anymore. Shiva systems, Shiva, oh my gosh, I said Salvor. Oh my goodness, gravy, thank you for that correction. Shiva systems creating the ARC 9000. So, from a foundational level, okay, wrapping this up, foundational level, we have to change, right? But we're still bringing the ARC 9000 back in a way that makes sense to the world building, to the lore that we have established. And to that, we want to do that with a lot of the material, a lot of the weaponry that you love, a lot of the ships that you know, as we incorporate those elements of world building, those elements of lore, but also create that rich, solid gameplay experience that I know that you desire and want to bring back to life. So, there you go. Will the plasma thrower be back? Translated. Maybe. All right, let's pick up this ancient rune.
Well, you tell me.
I have no data regarding anything like it.
Big old block. Let's see what we can do with this bad boy.
This must be the place the Bovis hacker asked you to find.
I am afraid you are right about this. Any signs of some incredibly rare material nearby?
My sensors are unable to detect anything in here. I am afraid you are on your own.
So I want to give one extra layer of disclaimer right now. Obviously, what you're seeing as I walk through these missions are spoilers, right? But also note that this content can change. So while I'm going to go through here and effectively show you where you find all the ancient runes, it's very possible in a future update, we just change the locations of where they're at. Okay, so I'm not saying that we're a bunch of dicks at Rockfish. What I'm saying is, don't get used to what you see and how you solve the varying missions as you're going through the EVERSPACE 2 experience. So we're gonna go ahead and plop these bad boys in place. Look at that.
Snapped into place. Interesting.
Wonderful, delightful. And now we're gonna fly around as we look for more of these pieces. There we go. Also, hang on. Oh, that's a heavy one. Oh, there we go. All right. I just really wanted to throw it. Okay, now where did that? There it goes. Right there. Perfect. Beautiful. Ancient rune right next door. We'll go ahead and chuck it into place too. I almost missed that. That would have been embarrassing. Probably. I don't think there's one over here, but we'll fly into it anyway. Oh yes, look. Nice excavated ancient site. Delightful. We've got one left. Where could it possibly be? We'll check this out. Right over here, there's this little chunk right here. See this? You're gonna need this for later. And then we have this destructible element right here with a nice little ancient rune right behind it. That's pretty straightforward. I feel like a lot of people find this one relatively quick. But we had to chunk that little piece out of the way for one very specific thing, because once we plug in this fourth one...
That's the last one. Now what?
There must be some logic to the distribution of these boxes. Maybe if you calculate all possible solutions.
Or just have a look around and figure out the only one that works.
Absolutely. So, if any of you are gamers, which should be 100% of you, you know that whenever you have any form of symbology on things that you can rotate, that it means something. Usually that you have to line it the frick up so that it does something more. So what you'll notice is that there's this symbology on this ancient structure right in the middle here. Look at that. And there's ones that are kind of like on each particular side. So, you know, I'm just like matching them. I'm just curious. I want to watch the chat and watch somebody go, "Are you serious?" Like they've been trying to figure this out for years, you know? Like they're stuck on that one puzzle and they didn't think about the like super obnoxiously easy solution. And if you're out there, Grandma, I'm sorry, okay? Like, it happens. It's okay. We all make mistakes. All right. I don't know if I'm equipped to take on this boss. I think we're gonna die. But we gotta try it, right? We have to try it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I see another question. Will our ships in the completed game require fuel like EVERSPACE 1, or will it stay the way it is? It will not require fuel. If we do have any sort of fuel system, it will be pertaining to like a fast travel system. But even still, we don't really like the idea of hindering the player for trying to get around in an open world RPG. Like we just want you to travel where you want to go. EVERSPACE 1 required fuel because again, that roguelike formula, but that formula has since changed. Let me see if I missed another question. Ships still need fuel though. You're right. Ships have changed since the events of EVERSPACE 1, including like the gunship now has shields because we're not flying colonial specific ships. The ships that are available to you in EVERSPACE 2 have been modified. They have been tweaked. They have been augmented, you know, throw out all the sci-fi terms, if you will, on any ways that change something into something more. There's a lot of reasons why the ships do not operate the same degree, at the same capacity, and you're not flying the exact ships from the first one. Because colonial ships, you're gonna get got just like that from the Okar, because they track colonial ships. Their job is to police the DMZ, and colonial presence is a no. It's actually why they chase you down in the events of EVERSPACE 1. All right. We all played Myst. Excellent. Good. Wonderful. I'm going to answer one more question and then we'll see what happens and how well we do here. So, Shivala? Curious username. Question, will there be some kind of exceptional rare item or expensive shipyard where we can install, swap out the traits of our ships? I really don't enjoy the Emperor Palpatine shock rays, while I love the aesthetics of the ships which come with this ultimate, or how I have to swap out my ship because it has some cool passive ability. So we will have a number of ways to customize ships in the future to swap out probably traits, but the ultimates are bound to that ship class. So a Sentinel will always have Emperor Palpatine mode, as you put it. All right? So if you don't prefer Emperor Palpatine mode, I would highly recommend a different ship, because that is bound to the class. It's I think the closest thing that I can correlate that to is because we're defining these different classes, and we're still defining them even further. By the way, we're not done with the stats. We're not done with like their powers and everything like that, and what distinguishes them from one another. But the Sentinel very much is going to be calling back to that lightning gun that it starts with in the events of EVERSPACE 1, while also having a lot of emphasis in its shields. These are core elements of what make the Sentinel a Sentinel, an energy fighter, as it is called in EVERSPACE 1. And just like that, you know, you have your wizard class in your traditional RPG, and they've got Fireball as a spell. We wouldn't be able to take your straight physical fighter and then like give them a Fireball in this case, like, because that's not his defined progression. His would be more like swords and shields and hammers or whatever the heck you want on that, right? So you have to like figure out which way you want to go, choose your class base, and then build from there. Okay, enough about talking about that. Let's go take on a ancient. Probably. Here we go. Let's see if we're ready for this.
Keeps us all forsaken Warden.
Oh, I need to drive better, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, he got stuck! He got stuck! Oh, ow, that was a lot of damage. Whoop! Ah! Close quarters make this a bit trickier than it was in the original. Yeah, this guy's a beefcake.
What now? It seems to be fusing with that cube.
I should have had some more kinetic damage on me. Let's see what we can do. We are regenerating a lot of our armor though, which is good. This is gonna be a long battle. So something else to actually talk about here, because I think it's going to be a curious one, an interesting one. If anybody is like, oh man, well, I have another weapon like this Bloodstar High Velocity Repeater, which is going to do a lot more kinetic damage than my flat cannon. You know, we can currently swap this out right now in the middle of this boss battle. Also keep in mind that this system of being able to just swap things instantaneously is not done. Much like you saw the ramifications for changing out your consumables being added to the game, there will also be ramifications for changing out your weaponry and your secondaries in the middle of the game as well. So you need to be dedicated to your loadout, because when you cycle, when you change things around, you're going to have to wait things out, find a defensive way to overcome that situation or whatnot before you can start utilizing all the stuff that's also in your storage. We don't want you to play like you have 3 weapons here and then 5 weapons here and change depending on the situation in that moment, okay? That's too much cheese. We're concerned about your dairy intake, all right? Beautiful. Let's keep going. Phase 1 done. Up, up. This might help me out a little. Get some space. Woo! All right. That's gonna be a lot better whenever he goes into his, into one of the runes. The thermogun's gonna hit him fairly hard right now. Especially it's gonna be a bit more consistent than what I'm probably doing overall. Oh, uh-oh. Oh! Well, we dodged a bit of it. I had to be mindful of my energy conservation on my thrusters. Okay, I think he's going to another one, maybe? No? Charge our weapons back up. Cool. The one benefit of having weapons that are usually a little underpowered is that they do regenerate faster since their energy consumption and whatnot is less than a higher level item. Not exactly the trade-off we want right now, but it'll be sufficient. Unless we die, in which case sucks. All right, watch this. This should be nice. Oh, first we have to take out the crystals. Ah, that's nice. I like that. That flat cannon did make quick work of these. Made it a little easier to target too. Maybe we should bring that bad boy back. I just really love that sound though. Like.
From me.
Oh, I really love that sound. All right. Gotta stay on our toes. We really don't want to take too much damage from this event because we're making good progress. I don't want to lose it all. All right, okay, all right. Up. I'm thinking I'm seeing some invisible walls. We might note that, rockfish comrades. I think we need to adjust a hitbox over here. I got him. Final phase. Up, on the ceiling. If anybody's wondering about my devices, I did not prepare my devices accordingly for this combat. But EMP doesn't affect the Warden, so when I use that, doesn't really affect him. I say that, and he was actually affected by it. Gave us a little bit of time, I guess. I thought they were immune to EMPs. Did we change that? There we go. And thankfully, instead of turning into anything that would be absolutely deadly to our health, he just goes into this.
Phew, we're still alive.
This Warden was different than the ones we used to fight.
Ah!
For one, it did not posthumously turn into a black hole.
Yeah, I painfully remember. Better wrap things up around here before it remembers too.
Take this ancient artifact.
10 to 1 that this is what the hacker is looking for. Time to get out before another Warden shows up.
Excellent.
Let's take whatever this thing is back to the hacker and never come back here.
I agree.
Beautiful. And that's more or less how you can deal with an Ancient Warden. I would say that that was rather sloppy on my part. But sometimes you have to deal with what you have at your disposal.
That was fun. Let's head back to the hacker.
Beautiful. No black hole, that's right. It was a different type of Warden. Thank goodness, too. Because that would have just, like, collapsed the planet. All right, what I missed while I was doing all that? Goodness. Lots of people. Will weapons having their own weapon charge and regenning in the background when you switch stay? Maybe. Maybe not. It's hard to balance that right now since not all of the other mechanics that circulate around weapon energy charging and management and specialty powers is in place. It's one of those things where we need to add more content and then make that decision based on how everything's synergizing with itself or not synergizing depending on those results. I know that a lot of what you see in the game right now, like we do have an initial vision of what this is and how we want it to work, but it could very well change. And also Excelsior does bring up a good point, because we did have this in a conversation a while back. Pertaining to the energy management, he says the current system is more forgiving and it's easier to manage the energy. We don't want you to, like having a side spreadsheet going, okay, well, this is how much my weapon energy output's gonna be, and it recharges this much per second, and this is the weapon that's doing this thing, it recharges at this rate, and then I have to multiply it by this value because I did the synergy thing with that other thing, and then I also have to incorporate. That's way too much work. We don't want it to be a nightmare to balance your basic use of weaponry, right? Now, at the same time, we do want to make sure that there is some semblance of balance so that you are going to require an energy source that's going to work with weapons if you have a weapon that's demanding energy, right? So there are those basic foundational rules in place as it stands currently in the game that we'll continue to evaluate and continue to flesh out through development. Because again, one of the things that you're seeing right here, in the case of this, a level 5 energy core, you guys will all max out at level 15 in the current early access. And our presumed level cap is about 30, so there's a lot that can change and a lot that can get adjusted in that, right? So we'll work on that together, and I'm absolutely positive that all of you beautiful, happy, engaging, super positive, never negative people will go on our forums and very politely tell us what might not be working to that system that you envision we should be doing as well. Excellent. All right. Oh, I need a dock. Whoops. Beautiful. How is everyone here? Good. Good.
Is this what you wanted?
You found it.
Care to swap this for a material decryptor?
Certainly. But please be careful with it. It took me a long time to perfect it.
Say, with all the information you are hoarding, what can you tell me about a man called Maddox?
I assume you are referring to Henry Maddox, the comrade of Dexter Bashar, whose signature was broadcast alongside yours when you were held by Bloodstar.
That's the guy.
I don't know much. He is a very private person and always avoided doing business with me. I understand he killed his superior during the recent war and is now searching for something very valuable. But the only objects of real value are ancient things, like the one you just brought to me. Ancient and dangerous. The Uk are guarding these things with a keen eye. By the way, you may care to know that they are already on the move.
Who? The Akra?
Yes, a raid on Avonrest. It's been on the wavelengths for some time now. Since that's where you flew in from when coming here, I assume that is where your friend is hiding.
Oh scrap. Gotta go.
Don't be a stranger, Adam.
Yes! 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 We've concluded the main storyline for the entire game. It's done, finished, out of the books. Thanks so much for watching. See you later, guys. I'll see you in the next stream. Whoa, calm down. I'm just kidding. Goodness gravy. Oh my gosh, that is where the storyline cuts things off for the current playable early access. Now, of course, we have a lot more content in store for you, and seeing how Adam, this clone of Adam, continues to develop his character, find out who he is, who he wants to be, the relationships that he makes along the ways, and also figure out this whole thing with Dax and Maddox and all of that type of stuff as we wade through so much more development. We still have a year's worth of development, folks. We still have a year's worth of development, so don't be sad. Aiden, don't be sad. You got to this point, you got sad. Don't be sad. This is good news because there's so much more coming. We talked about this in the stream. There's so much more coming. So, and just to like give you some comparison points of when I say like so much more, what does that mean? What does this guy mean? What is this streamer saying? He's just Rockfish employee saying, go buy our product. Now, I want to tell you, I want to be super transparent with you guys. When I say so much more, let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about what that really incorporates and what that covers through the game. Right now in early access, we have one system of Cedo that is kind of like your training grounds, right? We have at least 10 big locations here and about like, 28 smaller locations that each location has something to do that will give you a means to better your ship, better your equipment, as well as the opportunities to find new loot. There's factions that are there's a specific faction in Cedo, the Bloodstar faction, that you can obtain specific items, which are still being worked on, granted, but they have synergetic effects with one another to have a particular build. You have job boards that you can kind of poke around, build up credits, acquire resources, stuff like that. Then we have a second system. This is more of a trading hub system where the trading hasn't been fully incorporated into the game space, right? We have, again, another about 10 big locations here. And I think we're still working on this system, if I recall correctly. And there's only about like 20 smaller areas and lots of side missions galore, all of this types of stuff going on within Union. And the missions that you have just experienced me during the course of these streams only goes through Cedo and Union. That's it. That's as far as we've gone. Now I'm just gonna scroll out here and show you. We've got all of these other locations we have yet to even touch. You have seen only referenced in our previous posts and conversations. We're working on Zarkov. You guys know we're working on Zarkov. We've shown just a little bit of footage of it, bringing back another aesthetic that y'all like, those vertical asteroids. And each one of these systems is going to have a unique look and feel to it. It's going to be thematic. It's going to be stylized in that way, much like Cedo and Ewan currently are. Cedo is more on that side of generic space with asteroids, get to know the game space. We got a couple places you can fly into. There's lots of mining. Then we've got Union, which has more nebulas. It's got a little bit more bright colors going on. It's got a lot more trade hub interactions going on. Oh my gosh. I'm yelling in my mic. It's because I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm excited. You guys excite me too when I'm talking about this stuff. So yeah, if you don't like excitement, this is absolutely the wrong stream for you. And I don't know what else to tell you, dude. So then beyond that, we've got unique factions that will be coming to each one of these systems as well. Much like you see Bloodstar in Cedo, you're gonna see more unique factions coming out of all these other locations. So you have purpose, a drive, if you want to collect certain things to go to certain locations. Then we're also still doing a trading system that has not been implemented. You will be seeing trade lanes. You will be seeing an actual system to collecting certain resources and then trading it at certain stations for a profit. You will also be seeing a lot more jobs show up on the job boards. You're gonna see, man, what have I not covered yet? Oh, there's more playable ships. I mean, we talked about the aesthetics of the ships at the beginning of the stream. You know, I'm showing you like the tier 1, the tier 2 wings. Like each one's going to have layers of aesthetics, just a single ship alone. And then you're going to have, like different passives that can be associated with those. You're going to have your attributes that you can modify for unique builds. And we haven't even started on the freaking items yet. Like, we haven't. What? Like, I could just keep going and going and going. There's a ton of freaking stuff coming. I forgot to talk about more perks. I mean, I'm granted there's only gonna be 9 more perk options, but that helps diversify your builds as well. There's gonna be more companions that you're gonna meet. Obviously, there'll be more missions, duh. The data reveals that collectibles are coming soon. What the heck does that even mean? Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, whoo, there's a ton. There's a ton. So when I say more's on the way, it's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna add a new thruster type and you're gonna have a new ship color. No, freaking bleh. Like, there's a ton. I don't know how to express this in any other way. Like, there's a lot more. And you know, if you're already in the game state, if you're already playing, you're in early access, it's already making you excited, but you also are frustrated by that, that's also super great and okay. If you're frustrated, let us know why. Because we still have a long ways to go. Like I said, we still have a year's worth of content that we want to add in, to tweak, to adjust, to balance. It's important. It is very freaking important to make sure everything works the way it is supposed to. So let us know your thoughts. Let us know how the experience is working for you, and let us know what's not working for you, because that helps us through the course of this development to make it exactly what it needs to be. Woo! All right, rant over. That mic guy, I'm done. You can come back now. I don't know what to say. I've never heard somebody complain about me being too excited before. Oh my gosh. That's fine. Everyone's got their opinions. It's great. I'm glad. You don't like me being excited, that's not getting patched out. Sorry. That's staying. So there's a lot. TLDR, lots. Oh my gosh. Will there be a Rhineland? Oh my gosh. Now, I do want to point out, PC Italian, that while there are a number of elements in our game that definitely have taken inspiration from previous games, Freelancer, I'm just going to say it, Freelancer, right? Of course, we are honoring a lot of things that from our childhoods, from our youth, we absolutely loved and craved more of. This is not a spiritual successor to Freelancer. I want to set that stage, that groundwork right now, okay? So if you're coming in with the expectation of, this is the new Freelancer, no. I want you to get that out of your mind right now. It even says Freelancer upper right corner. So misleading, goodness gracious, but I digress. This is not a spiritual successor, and I want to explain why. Our focus in this game is very much on the loot and on the shoot. It is not, it is not whatsoever a simulation game. There might be a couple little elements in there that give it a simulation feel, but it is not a simulation game. In fact, when we have conversations with you pertaining to the controls that you're jumping into and how you're handling the experience, we absolutely recommend a mouse and keyboard. It works with HOTAS. You're probably going to run into a couple issues here and there, and it's going to translate a little bit differently from a space sim situation into our action shooter situation, but it does work. Controllers also work pretty fine. We still got some more tweaking on those, because I know that the controller supporters out there are going, it's way too difficult to do these certain things. We recognize that. Still in the process of figuring that out. Big shout out to Andy. Thanks, man. You're awesome. Yeah, there's a lot, but very different game. It's still a very different game. So just note that. Just keep that in mind. We have taken a lot of inspiration from a lot of our sci-fi loves, right? Lots of it. But this is not some copy pasta plugged in, hey, you like Freelancer? Come buy your game. Like, whoa, calm down there. We're making a game that we have a vision for, building it from the ground up, and it's a continuation of that story arc from EVERSPACE 1. So, whoo, goodness. Is reputation only improved by jobs? Currently. But that can change too. Oh my gosh, now so many people talking after I had that splurge of information, and that's great. I'm still waiting to voice act some Swiss-German outlaw chatter. Oh, you mean like Schwarzenegger? Oh boy. You guys. So are we not getting new colors? New colors, let me tell you what. That would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? Man, now everyone's having discussions about different things, and that's great too. You guys can continue having discussions. I'm gonna get back into the game. All right, here we go. What I want to do now is, I can actually highlight the wings again. I kind of want to go back to Cedo and see if I can grab a different ship. I haven't flown a scout in a while. I guess I could go to Prescott. I haven't flown a scout in a while. I really want to fly a scout. I need to get better at the scout. EVERSPACE 2, haven't been practicing with it very much, and it's kind of my baby. Oh, I just do this all day. Gosh dang it, I love this. Smooth bit, oh my gosh. Oh, Giho, I love you, man. Great work on the music, and he's still developing more. So if you like the progress of the music, my ears. Oh, so pleased. So pleased. Easy there, Cowboy. You're right. I really got into that, didn't I? Whew. Did I pop a button? Oh, sorry, ladies. I'm taken. Woo! I really got into that. My goodness. Woo! All right. Let's head over to the Freelancer hangar where they have more ships. We'll do a little twisty maneuver. Look at that. Somebody's like, wait, how do you do that so fast? I turn my inertia dampeners off? What? You can do that? Yeah, so you know how I said that we're not doing like a space sim? So we are adding a couple things that are still fun that you can do. So like inertia dampening off, we can float around and things can get real frisky. You can do some really cool combat maneuvers if you start getting real good at this. We do have a couple individuals in the community who are pretty freaking skilled, honestly, at turning the inertia dampeners off. It's not bound by default. So let me actually go into this real quick, just so you guys know. It's not bound by default. Wait, where am I going? Where am I going? Customize control. So if you go down here, you'll see that I have it assigned, where's it at? Shoot, shouldn't it be colored? I don't even see it. Guys, let me show you where this is at. I can't find it. Oh gosh, goodness gravy. Hang on a second. It's close. Where's the inertia dampener? There it is, right there. Perfect. Toggle inertia dampeners. I have mine set to mouse 4, just an added button on my mouse so I can just very quickly turn it on, turn it off. If you want to get real cheeky with how you boost around, you can manage to save energy, but also remember, inertia dampeners in a space like this, like depending on what space you're in, I should say, there can be a lot of obstacles, a lot of mass that your ship will collide into, and you will bounce around, you'll spin, and shields will not save you, okay? Yes, shields protect from kinetic damage, but when you ram into an asteroid, it's an entirely different beast. So do be mindful. If you want to use inertia dampeners, it can be a whole lot of fun, and it can also lead to a lot of disappointment. So just be careful, okay? It's giving you that heads up. So inertia dampening can be a lot of fun. Just floating over here like that. however you like. All right, so let's dock here. He's gonna say some stuff.
Hi, my HUD tells me that you have a special job on offer.
It tells you correctly. It's an extraction job in your orbit. We have a client who is willing to pay handsomely.
That's outlaw territory, right?
Yes, multiple gangs have banded together and settled there to stand a better chance against our raids. They don't trust each other much, but still have each other's backs if anyone comes in uninvited.
And the job involves extracting what? Data from outlaws?
That too is correct. There is just one problem. My client didn't give me much information on the exact nature of this data, nor do we know which of the outlaw gangs has it. So to be on the safe side, I need someone to hack all their stations separately and download whatever they can find.
All of their stations, okay.
Like pointing an autocannon in the dark. Anything else I need to know?
Only that once you've started the hacking process, you'll need to stay close to the server until it's done, otherwise the connection will be severed and you'll need to start from scratch. So, how about it?
Let's say I return with all the data. What if none of them contain the file your client is looking for?
They will pay, nonetheless. That is the deal.
It better be. Alright, I'll look into it.
Good. Stay safe out there.
I'm a little bit of a jelly donut right now. I just saw that Jesse C says, can't give up my cargo bay with plus 100 maneuverability. Dude, that's awesome. I love the items that grant handling. I love the stuff that grants handling, like being able to just be in full control of that precise movement. Jesse, transfer your item to me somehow. Oh, I love it. That's really sick. That's really awesome. A lot of people saying the inertia mechanic is really great. I missed it when I revisited EVERSPACE 1. Yeah, no, that's probably fair, but it did not have a good place in EVERSPACE 1, if we're being super honest. That's why it's a handicap. When you get damaged, you lose it, right? Not to say you can't get good with it, but it is very much a hindrance in the space of quick, short travel times in each of those locations. I digress. Let's see. All your stations belong to us. Nice. Good reference. Solid. Trying to see. Did I miss a question? Let's see. I missed the other travel music. What happened to it? From Sumil. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, from YouTube. So basically each one of these big old sectors, we are wanting to design unique travel music for each one to really set the tone, really set the mood for where you're at and what you're accomplishing. So as you're traveling through Cedo, you're gonna get this music. This is the music that you'll hear through Cedo. A nice introduction, a nice pacing to the beginnings of the game space, right? And then when you are done with that, because Shu hasn't designed a new opening spread for me, that's right, I'm calling you out, sucker! Oh! Whenever you go into like Union and you're flying around, you get the new travel music. In fairness, I haven't followed up with you about it, so it's fine. We're gonna add new little things. That's fine. Michael, he's not in trouble, I promise. Everything's good. It checks out. So yeah, so each system will have its own music. There might even be more music on the interiors of the systems as well. Like, like, what words were I trying to say there? That was weird. Like locations you go to, there might be music that only triggers when you're in Cedo, for example, versus when you're in Union, stuff like that. But Giho is hard at work. He doesn't only just do the music for the game, so you guys are aware. Like, Giho is the sound master at Rockfish, so he does the music. He does the sound effects, which are vital, integral to having any sort of weight or merit in the engagement of a video game ever. You talk to any developer whatsoever, like if you don't have good sound design for feedback to the player, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. That can really change the entirety of a game and how it feels, how it comes together. And Giho's been doing all of that. He's also been the audio guy, making sure that all of the Like the voice work comes in balanced and clean and plugs, like he does it all. Like anything that makes a sound, he's on it. The weapon sounds, oh baby. And I love the work he's been doing there. It's been getting better and better. So lots more to come. Man, we've been talking about that for a while and I haven't been blowing stuff up. People want to see stuff blown up. You know what? Maybe what we'll do is we'll use some cheats and we'll just like make a hard situation for us to try and accomplish since we're talking so much. But the question is, where do we want to do that? There's a lot of cool looking locations. Yeah, here's the Union music, of course, that we've been jamming to. Where do we want to go? Avon Rest is nice. Well, there's a battle here anyway, so we'll go to Avon Rest. We'll do this little mission, and then we'll make it a little harder too. We'll add some more stuff. Oh, no, freaking scout! I forgot that. Dang it! Hang on a second. Freaking, I'm cheating. I'm going back to Prescott. Thanks, Chatawilliam. Oh, let's go back to Prescott so I can buy a scout. Completely forgets to buy a scout. Thanks for that. Okay. Let's buy our scout. Okay. Ship dealer. What do we got? We have a sentinel. We have an intercept. Dang. I like that one. That's a nice interceptor. All right. Bomber. Oh, yes. Yes. The turtle. Striker. Okay, yes. Gunship with a very similar look as the bomber. They are, in fact, different. One of the things you'll note, whenever we were looking at the modular approach, you can see it very clearly here that both the bomber and the gunship have the same heavy body being used, right? Both of those have the exact same body, but the wings are very different. They have the exact same engine as well. So the body and the engine, but the wings are different, okay? So you will have those variations, the stylizations between classes that further distinguish them. And again, we're not done with the heavies. We're also not done with the lights. You'll see more of that. But they are the same weight class. So they do have similar bodies, cockpits, engines, stuff like that. All right, let's see. Hey, there's our scout. Ooh, I like that dash of silver and gold too. That's nice. It's a very colonial look, but you know, it's okay. Also, just wanted to look at the others. Oh, 3 bombers back to back. Okay. But yeah, we're buying the scout. Take it for a spin. Now this thing, the scout, in comparison to what we were just flying, it's gonna have a tough time surviving. Let's just look at the stats here. Our hull is basically cut in half from where it was at before. Oh, my face is in front of it. Get out of the way, me. So here you can see we have a ripe 611 hull points. That gets a yikes from me. We are definitely not ready to fly out into the mix of combat so easily. Something like a Bloodstar high velocity repeaters, not ideal. What we instead want is something with a bit of range. So we're gonna cycle over to this coil gun. Thermogun's also gonna be useful here. We need better gear. I'm not gonna worry about that too much right now because I wanna fly. I know that you guys want me to fly too. Just a quick look at our 2 customizations. I do like that Bloodstar scout, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll go with the original theme. We'll mix it up a little bit. All right, here we go. So let's go find some punks. Head on over to Avon Rest, do that little side mission, and then we'll keep battling some enemies in some unique ways and stuff, I suppose. Yeah, the interceptor did look really nice. I like that. It's just like the straight silver. Looks really good. Vanguard win. Oh yeah. Goodness gravy. Excelsior. I promised that I was going to talk about it in the stream, and an hour and a half has gone by. Yeah, so for anybody who missed the announcements on the Vanguard, originally, we said it's gonna come out with the April update. And then, because we are very transparent in everything that happens through development, we said, hey, we have to change the schedule around. So we're still working on the Vanguard, but it's not gonna make the April update, and it's gonna be after that. It's gonna be in like a hotfix, right? And then after we said that, we realized that in trying to do this balancing act to create the Vanguard, it was hurting the other components that we were working on. So instead, we just said, okay, we are gonna focus in, we're gonna rein it all in, we're gonna make sure that the content we release is pretty solid and where it needs to be. So we changed our attention, we put out that bomber, we put out a lot of new updates to Union, new missions, etc., new items, blah, 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 blah. We wanted to hyper focus in on that, and we said, Vanguard, we wanna make sure that you're implemented well, so we're gonna put you on the back burner. We communicated that to you as well. We said, it's gonna now move to the summer update. So the summer update is when we are going to launch the Vanguard alongside a new entire solar system, new missions, new enemy types, new items. Like, you're gonna get all of these things in that summer update, and that's scheduled to be approximately 3 months from now, okay? So we'll have more details on that official date when it's ready to go. But rest assured, we're not removing any content. Everything that we said we were working on, we are in fact working on. We're just being incredibly transparent with you guys so that you know stuff changed. The proverbial S hit the fan, and we had to make some adjustments in our timelines. That's all right? So thanks for your understanding in that. It's coming. Excellent. Let's go shooty, shooty, boom, boom. I'm glad we restored our EMPs because we're gonna need those. What is the Vanguard? Hang on a second. Do I have... Hang on. I want to... Music, calm down. Okay. Do I have some material that I could show you regarding the Vanguard? The music, goodness gravy. All right, hang on a second. So we had a post, our Kickstarter update recently, and maybe somebody can link that in the chat. It does have information on, or is it a couple? Shoot, Will, would you be able to hook me up, or Hazzy, somebody? I know that we have concept art for the Vanguard that we posted in one of the more recent Kickstarter updates. So absolutely get on that. It's effectively the fastest light ship that we'll be incorporating in the game. So everybody knows the Scout. Everybody knows that this thing is hyper fast. Look at how controlled I am here. Like, we can go anywhere and everywhere on a dime interactions. This thing moves super great. The Vanguard makes this thing look like a punk, okay? If we're using other sci-fi references to compare and contrast, let's just say the Scout's kind of more like a standard TIE fighter, and the Vanguard's more like a TIE interceptor. Some Star Wars nerd out there is just like, oh my gosh, that helps me so much. And there's somebody else like, that doesn't help at all. One's just got pointy wings. Hey, trust me, they're very different in how they move, okay? Shu, thank you so much for providing that Kickstarter update. Hazzy, thanks for providing it faster over on Twitch. You're absolutely better than Will. Beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing those links. You can see the concept art of the Vanguard right in there. Well in the works now, and it will be ready for that summer update.
How did you find us? I have almost 24 markers on my map. This was one of them.
Scrap. This is bad. Uma, the distractors are offline. We're sitting ducks here.
I'll fix them, but I might need someone to have my back in case those bastards show up.
I'm used to this kind of stuff. I can cover you.
All right, set yourself up, then tag along. We don't have much time.
Perfect. And also, Michael corrected me. I don't know why I do this. I'm sorry, Michael. I apologize. I'll try to get better. I promise. Please don't fire me. Basically, we make these updates on Steam, so you don't have to be a Kickstarter backer to get these updates. By the way, all of these updates that we post do show up on Steam, straight from the store page. So if you follow, is that what's called following? Shoot, wish list is what it's called. But if you wish list EVERSPACE 2, you will see these updates and get all the goods, be in the know of how our development is progressing as well. No Kickstarter account needed. All right. Vanguard's gonna be your jam, dude. Dude. You know, it's funny. We had to pull it from our dev build. So even if I wanted to show you the Vanguard right now, I couldn't. But man, when we had it just like in a blockout format, Jesse, I will tell you straight up, Vanguard's my jam. So yeah, you guys I think are really going to enjoy it. But remember those trade-offs, you know, you get something really great. It also means that it's really gonna struggle in other areas too. So be mindful of that whenever the Vanguard does make its appearance this summer. Not super TIE fighter. What's a super TIE fighter? You mean a TIE advanced? I don't know what you're talking about. I digress. All right, let's do this. Let's check out the inventory, the shop rather. See if we need to replace some stuff. Oh my gosh. That just seems so much better than what we have. I feel like I have to get this. So we're gonna do that. Phase plating, a little bit better. See, sensors, not worth right now. I really like the Bloodstar Decimator, but I'm not sure if it's ideal for a scout build. The scout, for those who are unaware, unacclimated with the scout, its special is that it deals increased damage per every 100 meters distance from its target. So because of that, we want stuff that's at long range. Hey, of course. The passive we have in the scout, I should have checked this before buying it. We kind of got an okay passive. It reduces enemy detection range. So this is gonna be a far more stealthy version of a scout as opposed to an aggressive one, but we can still work with that. Another passive that a scout could get would be to, my brain is suddenly completely blanking. But don't worry about that. What's important, what's important is that all scouts inherently increase their weapon range through their expertise trait. So right up here you see every single ship, the attribute called expertise actually operates differently. So the expertise of the scout increases your weapon range inherently. Perfect. While Eric is battling, the outlaws are destroying the base, basically. Thank goodness that time stops when we're here, yeah? But yeah, otherwise, we'd totally be screwed. Don't hire me out as a real mercenary. You'll die because I just can't stop talking. All right, we're just gonna sell this stuff because it's just outdated now. Pulse laser would be nice. Pulse laser's got some range. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do the pulse laser. That's just straight up better. I do like having the ability to disable the target shield for 2 seconds with each hit, but it is a low % chance. And I have 10% kinetic damage bypasses the shield instead. I think we'll do that. So beautiful. I think we're good. Oh man, I haven't like focused my perks at all in this save file. Oh well. Oh well, that's fine. I don't think we have any other devices, do we? No, we really don't. We just have the 2. Also something I need to grow in. Now let's do this. Let's meet up with Uma. How about crafting a legendary railgun? Can't craft a legendary railgun right now, but just for the record, I don't have like any crafting components, like hardly any in this save file, so I couldn't do hardly anything. So for anyone who's never seen the crafting system right now, basically, whenever you dismantle goods, which I didn't do, I sold goods. I've not been focused in any sort of crafting, and I should have, to be honest. You can craft various equipment based on the stuff that you break down. So if you break down common stuff, you can build common stuff. If you break down uncommons, rares, superiors, you'll be able to then spend those crafting materials you receive to then do this. This is a way for us to compensate for bad RNG, right? You've all been there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You just need +1 anything. anything do that adds +1, and you get this item and it's this other thing. You get this next item and it's another other thing. You get this other item and what the freaking heck? You've gathered like 20 items. All you need is that +1 and it's not happening. You're just like, shoot, bad RNG, rip save file, GG, no re, right? Sucks. Our crafting system rectifies that issue. Instead of now saying, wow, all this stuff is garbage and I hate it forever, okay, thanks, bye, you then break it down and build that freaking thing that you're looking for, right? Simply put, there is still a little bit more work to do to the crafting system. There's going to be a number of additions, a number of changes. So, but as it stands in the current format, you can improvise a weapon, which just creates a random weapon, or you can build out specific blueprints so that you can gain a particular weapon, secondary weapon, or module for your ship without getting something random through the use of your spindages. In addition to that, the last thing you can do with your crafting mats is you can modify goods. Modifying this also is a work in progress, by the way. There's going to be a couple of changes and new things coming here too. You can increase your rarity, so that basically toggles it up 1 tier so that it adds another modified slot to it and also increases its values a little bit. You can upgrade the level, which is very straightforward. You can adapt an item which lowers the level by 1. So again, there will be updates to this. I know some of you are already churning like, well, what if you could do this? I'm gonna stop you right there. Just remember, if you do have thoughts and ideas, you can totally go to the forums and post your thoughts. But again, we do have some elements that we are bringing together for that.
I'll repair the distractors while you hold them off.
All right. Time to pew pew. These guys aren't too bad. Now the coil gun is a hit scan item, whereas the pulse laser, we have to lead our target, and you can actually see it there as we're flying close. Madcap's coming. Actually, let's focus in on the Madcap. Also fire some, actually no, we're gonna focus in on this Proto Scout. We do not want him messing up our day. Now let's take out this guy.
Gotcha.
Ah! I tried to throw the mine and I failed. Focus these down. We really don't want to get too close to these guys, and in fact, we'll just kind of do this number so that they can't get close to us. Shadow Strike Alt allows you to get 1 really strong shot if you hit, but otherwise they can't see me. Much more ideal with a sniping weapon as opposed to a fast firing weapon like what I have.
Credits will satisfy you.
But it will be sufficient for the moment. Also, are there goods stuck in here? There are. But the Scout is very good about avoiding damage should you keep your range and whatnot. Oh yeah, I never did the Interceptor ult. That's a shame. We're gonna get this Madcap again. Gonna just disable him. Don't want to mess around with him whatsoever. That feels good. Okay. Oh, just a draw. Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. Straight upgrade. I'll wait 20 seconds to be able to use that. right, let's see. Armor drone we want to focus in on because that provides armor to all nearby targets. Of course, that's how those work. And then next, we want to take out the sniper drone. Excellent. And now we're really in the fray, and I don't like that. But we are very maneuverable. Okay, good, good, wonderful. Nice.
Is it just me, or are they getting more aggressive?
They've been trying to pin us down for a while. They won't wait for another chance.
Ah, okay, okay.
Alright, I made it.
I don't think this is part of our mission. But we're gonna take him out anyway. Oh. Oh, hello there. No, thank you. Perfect. Let's make him an easy target to pick off. Much better.
Done. Scrap. One last wave incoming.
All right, here we go.
Trying to get at our provisions.
Oh, that's not good. Not gonna do a lot of damage, but we'll take it. Here we go. Little nimble ship. Let's do some poking damage. Now he's moving around. He doesn't want us shooting his weak spots. But we're gonna focus them down anyway. Ouch! A lot of missiles. Now, you have to keep in mind, this guy is moving. And our scout, he really doesn't want us shooting at his weak spots. So the maneuverability of the scout is allowing us to focus this space in, which is not easy to do at all. Ouch. Also, it's a lot easier to dodge missiles, I say, after I get hit by like 4 of them in a row. We might have to deal with these drones, though. I really don't want to. I want to try to focus this guy down. All right, we're going to change over to these drones. Here we go. All right. Open up for me. Yes, thank you very much. You can see the colors are flashing as you hit them, indicating that you are, in fact, hitting those weak spots. Get those drones out of the picture one more time. Let's try and get real. Oh, no, he's moving downward. Okay. Still trying to use our right maneuverability to focus these shots. Looks like we got him. All right. Excellent. Oh, she's getting attacked by little ships. Let's go help her. And a madcap that will go into a pod. Excellent. Done and done. Beautiful.
I think that's it.
Thanks. Let's meet in the hangar.
This is probably my favorite advertisement in the entire game, so you guys are aware. I love the Scout. But you know what I love more than Scout? What's coming this summer?
He saved our derrieres out there. Pay him well, Tico. He deserved it.
Here, does this account for your trouble? It's more than enough. If there is anything else we can do, we gave your ship clearance to bypass the distractors.
Oh, thank you.
Feel free to come back anytime.
Those Madcat pods are spicy. They can be. They certainly can be, that's for sure. It wasn't too bad, I don't think. I maybe gave those enemies more credit than what they deserve. But rest assured, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can come together and take on your opponents. And generally speaking, when you're fighting an outlaw destroyer, and I know that there's a lot of you guys who can actually speak to this, so don't take my word for it. When you're fighting an outlaw destroyer, they can move in very unique ways that make it hard to capitalize on their weak spots. And the Scout has the best chance to navigate around that, say, nope, I'm gonna shoot your weak spots. But granted, you do have to take a bit of a dive to do so. So now you have to start thinking, is it really worth taking a Scout that is designed for long range to go all up in its grill to gain that added benefit to take down an outlaw destroyer? Now, there will be a number of other weak points for other large vessels that you encounter throughout the game. And certain ships are going to be better at overcoming them. Certain weapons are going to be more ideal in those situations. It's just part of the flow, the pacing of combat, and how we want to bring it all together. But yeah, I was feeling a little cheeky there. You know, why not? Why not show how maneuverable the Scout is? So, yeah, there we go. We have approximately 6 minutes left in the stream, and I want to just chat with you guys. I want to talk with you about stuff that we're working on. I want to talk with you and answer your questions, because I'm sure that you have plenty of them. And also, I want to leave this area because it sounds like there's an item that's still trying to be collected. I'm sure some of you picked up on that. A couple of bugs here and there. We'll get out those. We'll get out those kinks. No big deal. And we'll just listen to some music. There we go. Listen to some music and answer some questions. Excellent. So what do you got for me? What do you guys want to know? From what you've seen, how would you, like, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking about? You recently had a destroyer backflip violently. I thought you fixed this. We did fix it, partially. It can still happen. Yeah, oh my gosh, some bugs, tell you what, they never die, right? And that's actually one that we think is gonna be in that category. But don't worry, we're still working on it. Why is this music so good? Because Giho's a boss? We can't change that, I'm sorry. We can't make him not a boss. I can't keep playing after entering Super Light, I get stuck. Nice, that was good. Scout best close range ship, changed my mind. Gunship? 4 mounts? Community stuff? Not today. Not today. We will share more community stuff in one of the upcoming next streams. I do suppose I should mention next week I am actually out. I will not be here. I will not be in the office. Is it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I can't remember, Michael. I seriously can't remember. I gave you the dates like so long ago, it eludes me. But on Friday, we will determine if we're gonna have another pilot be joining you that week, or if we are going to just take a break so that then we can maybe show you something nice and fancy in 2 weeks' time. So rest assured, we want to make sure we are giving you the space to engage with us so that we can talk with you all and just be as transparent as possible regardless. So if you aren't able to make streams as a whole or prefer to have like that active engagement through something like Discord, definitely become a part of it because we want to do that too. Oh yeah, yeah, Fins, regarding like, Weak points, that's the term. Regarding weak points, we got some clever ideas. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think that you'll be excited, and I think that in some cases you might be surprised. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? Well, this is something that I've pondered myself, but clearly the answer is 42. I found a minor gameplay glitch while playing the early access on Steam. How do I report it? A great question, Travis. So you can head on over to the Steam forums themselves, and there is a section for bug reports. And you let us know on over in the Steam forums. We will lock it down. We will address it. Maybe it's already been addressed, but that is why we use those forums, so that we can catalog all of those different bugs and make sure that you, the good people, are taken care of. Very good. Hazzy says, cough, will cough. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. Now everyone's saying 42. Yeah. Very good. Oh man, Nurston corrected me. I knew somebody was gonna do it. It's not the answer. It's not the answer. Yeah, you're right. It's the answer to the ultimate question about life, the universe, and everything. Very good, very good. All right. 37 is greater than 42? Wait a second. I went to college. You can't fool me. You guys. All right, we're just getting goofy now. Guys, I really appreciate the time that you come into these streams and just like hang out with all of us, ask your questions. It is such a delight. We are going to show you the screen real briefly just to highlight other locations you can follow up with us, engage, be that from Discord to Twitch to YouTube to Twitter. We share a lot of your screenshots, a lot of your memes, a lot of everything that you do. It's a lot of fun. Also on Instagram, we highlight you guys. In fact, we have begun applying the galactic photographer role to individuals that we select on a weekly basis so that you know who those big shots are, taking all the great fine work to highlight the game. We also do have a Reddit subreddit for the conversations to flow as well. But do keep in mind, at the end of the day, if you are laying out dem suggestions and providing that rich, solid feedback for hitting any sort of hiccups and bugs, that's all going to be found on those Steam forums themselves, okay? So be sure, we did just provide a link there. You can head on over to the Steam forums themselves, where you are going to engage with all sorts of community persons and see if your thoughts and ideas have already been shared. Oh my goodness, what? Or if those bugs that you're having have already been fixed. Oh my gosh. Or if you are hooking us up to ensure that we're all taken care of. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my express privilege. Oh, the stream, it's time to end. Oh, thank you for being here. I have been Eric Schrader, your community ambassador, your servant, your guide to all things EVERSPACE 2. Don't stop being awesome. We will catch you in the next stream, either next week or 2 weeks from now. I don't know which. Michael will decide because he's in charge. Don't at me, bro. Toodles! Oh, look at that, guys. You got a bonus little notification message. I forgot to turn those off. Whoopsie doopsies. Maybe if you guys are really nice, we could show some new concept art. Woo-hoo.